What if the outrage we're witnessing on the streets isn't just spontaneous, but part of a carefully orchestrated plan? We're diving deep into the secret communications that reveal how anti-ICE agitators are coordinating protests, and the findings are explosive. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in US politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow. The headlines have been screaming about the clashes outside Delaney Hall in Newark, a detention facility that's become a flashpoint in the immigration debate. But our investigation, drawing from on-the-ground reporting, secret chat groups on Signal, and extensive financial records, suggests these protests are far from organic. On June 3rd, an activation signal went out on social media: curfew is over. Back to Delaney. Within minutes, this call to action spread like wildfire through encrypted signal groups, activating hundreds of anti-ICE activists using secret monikers like Framed.Unrest and Wicked Something. They weren't just showing up, they were coordinating transportation, logistics, and supplies, everything from goggles to respirators and protective knee pads. This isn't a spontaneous outpouring of rage. It's the result of years of strategic planning by a network of well-funded, well-organized groups. They've identified a local controversy and are exploiting it to wage a wider attack on federal immigration policies, and frankly, on the United States itself. A group of dedicated tech sleuths have been working to penetrate these operations, likening their efforts to a digital Avengers squad. The network behind these protests includes around 100 groups, some of them household names in the political landscape like the ACLU, Indivisible, and the Democratic Socialists of America. Collectively, these organizations report annual revenues of about $850 million, a sum that rivals the annual budget of the city of Newark. Many of these groups enjoy special designations as charities, allowing them tax-deductible donations and tax-free benefits. This has drawn the attention of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and lawmakers on key House committees, who are now investigating the alleged abuse of nonprofit laws to instigate conflict and sow discord. What's truly alarming is the deliberate strategy behind their messaging. We've obtained a Delaney Hall creator brief, a strategic communications document that directs content creators to refer to the detention center as a concentration camp and detainees as imprisoned prisoners or captives. They are instructed to avoid terms like arrested, instead using loaded phrases like kidnapped or abducted. These tactics mirror systems deployed elsewhere, and military experts are drawing chilling parallels to insurgent operations. As one nonprofit expert put it, these aren't organic protests, they are manufactured, strategic endeavors by an army of nonprofits pushing subversive activity, acting like military battalions capable of overwhelming a city's resources. On the ground, the preparations are laid bare. Tents have been spotted stocked with respirators, goggles, protective pads, and decontamination supplies. Even controversial figures like Marxist influencer Hassan Piker have made appearances, with his team labeling the provisions as mutual aid when confronted with images of what looks more like riot gear. The communications reveal a sophisticated mobilization effort. Users in Signal chats are asking about carpools from out of state, coordinating medics, and discussing logistics for food, drinks, and transportation, much like planning for a large event. There's even a warning to users: please don't self-ID in the chat. This highlights the clandestine nature of their operations, with a focus on protecting identities and operational security. The intelligence gathering is also highly structured, with users asking for OTG or on-the-ground reports. The communications then shift to serious preparations for confrontation. Offers are made to bring specialized items like Sudicon wipes for pepper spray neutralization and multiple sets of protective pads. These aren't last-minute decisions, they are the culmination of months, even years, of coordination. The current wave of protests followed a year of quieter activism, igniting a broader network of advocacy organizations, legal groups, and national nonprofits that had been building coalitions, communications networks, and rapid response infrastructure long before the current situation escalated. The origins of this network, dubbed the Delaney Hall 100 by one expert, can be traced back to the decision to reopen the detention facility. What began as an informal vigil by a few local activists evolved into organized coalitions like Eyes on ICE NJ and ICE Out of NJ. These groups specialize in monitoring, media outreach, community support, mobilization, and political pressure. They are funded by major donors, including foundations that have historically supported progressive causes. Even elected officials, including Democratic senators and the governor, have become highly visible participants in the debate, yet they too have faced protests organized by these same groups. The irony isn't lost that these organizations, who often accuse law enforcement of wearing masks, operate with their own identities and funding concealed, using their non-profit status as both a sword and a shield. As the protests have escalated, more radical elements have emerged, equipped with makeshift shields and even swords. The list of medic donations shared in Signal chats resembles a manifest prepared for a military operation, listing specific manufacturers and types of equipment like respirators and specialized gas mask filters. And then, the message comes through, echoing the strategy document: this is what counterinsurgency looks like. As agitators gather, one protester, directed by these secret communications, shouts at the officers, "You work for a concentration camp. You work for a concentration camp. Quit your job," followed by chilling chants and personal attacks. This isn't just about immigration policy, it's about a calculated strategy to disrupt, delegitimize, and potentially incite further conflict. What does this coordinated effort to weaponize dissent tell us about the future of political activism in America? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. The evidence is clear. These protests are a manufactured, strategically planned operation, and the implications for our political landscape are profound. We will continue to follow these stories and bring you the truth, no matter how deeply it's buried.